where positivity keeps on scoring. Good vibes, great gifts, and stories to share. Overt Morning Show, rising with you everywhere.
Alright, Lagos, welcome back. This is still Overt Radio. We are broadcasting to you live from the city of Lagos. Lagos is a center of excellence, the city that never sleeps. Alright, this morning, the political update segment, I will be talking about the reactions, some of the reactions, and also the lessons learned from the Osun State governorship election that was just concluded on Saturday, August 15, 2026. Yes. All right, this is Overt Radio. You can go to our various social media platforms. We are on X, Overt Radio Live. We're on Instagram, Overt News. We are also on TikTok, overt.radio.lagos. And we are currently streaming on our YouTube platform, Overt Radio Live. Okay, all right. Yes, it has been going on in the media since on Saturday, after Governor Ademola Adeleke was declared winner of the Osun State governorship election. Yes, it was not that it was not expected, but I think that Ademola Adeleke deserves that victory on Saturday. He deserves that victory on Saturday. Ademola Adeleke deserves that victory on Saturday based on his performance, in two previous governorship election in the state. He deserves that victory. Okay, so I will be talking about some of the reactions from the president, reactions from Peter Obi, reaction from Atiku Abubakar, reaction from the PDP and the ADC, and also the lessons that should be learned in future elections. Remember, I gave an analysis that was on Thursday or so. I think it was on Thursday, Wednesday. I gave an analysis on how should a presidential election be won in this country. And not only the presidential election, but also governorship election, because after the presidential election, another key election that we will experience is the governorship election. So the analysis I gave that day, is still something very close to governorship election. Yes. So Ademola Adeleke won by 511,067 votes, as against the APC candidates Asiwaju Bola Oyebamiji, who polled 444,815 votes. That is a wide margin of 66,252 votes. Okay, so, and also the IDC candidates Najim Salam. These are the three top candidates that contested in that election. Ademola Adeleke of the Accord Party, Najim Salam of the ADC, and Bola Oyebamiji of the APC. So Ademola Adeleke polled 511,067 votes. Najim Salam of the ADC polled 17,180 votes. That is something I would like to talk about later on. And APC polled 444,815 votes. So, and also the total votes, according to INEC, the total valid votes were 985,079 votes. Top three candidates. So if you add Ademola's votes of 511,067 votes, if you add that to Najim Salam of the ADC 17,180 votes. If you add that to Bola Oyebamiji's vote of 444,815 votes, you get a total of 973,062 votes. Now, other candidates, 12 candidates, cumulatively, if you count all their votes, they got 12,017 votes. So let me first take the reaction of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who congratulated Ademola Adeleke of the Accord Party. Yes, okay. Tinubu said he had personally called on Adeleke to congratulate him and urged the governor to use his renewed mandates to unite the people of Osun State and pursue development irrespective of their political affiliations. So there are two things that the president said: to pursue development and unite Osun State irrespective of political affiliations. So the most important thing is, yes, the platform with which you were elected on, which is the political party, is very important, is vital. But also you must remember that amid the fanfare, amid the celebration, which is right, which is in the right order, amid the congratulations, the party, the gyration, Ademola Adeleke should not forget that the reason why he was re-elected is because the people saw what he did. The people capitalized on his achievement since 2022, and that was why they voted for him. 66,000 people. The margin was over 66,000. So Bola Ahmed Tinubu is telling Ademola Adeleke that, Mr. Governor, congratulations, but amid the fanfare, amid the celebration, amid the gyration, amid the dancing, because he's the dancing governor, amid all these things, there are key things that you must concentrate on: uniting the people of Osun, because in the build-up to this election, Osun State had been boiling for a while. There have been a lot of tension, and some of that tension was caused by the government, by the APC. Majority of the tension, majority of the upheaval, that took place in Osun were caused by the APC. Number one, Senator Francis Fadahusin's kill order remark. That was a very grave offense. That was something that should not be said at all by a political leader, a senator. Okay, and also the freezing of Osun State bank account. So Tinubu is urging Ademola Adeleke to unite the people of Osun State and pursue development, which is the most important thing. Ademola Adeleke, because they say that to whom much is given, much is expected. So one of the lessons of Ademola Adeleke, which will be learnt, is that now that you have been given the mandate the second time, it is now an opportunity for you to continue the good work that you have been doing. Because if you have not done anything at all, the people of Osun State would not have re-elected you. It is because you did something very well. It is because of your achievement in the last 4 years. That was why you were re-elected. Okay, that was why you were re-elected. Ademola Adeleke is not from a poor family. The Adelekes are wealthy people. So even if he lost on Saturday, he wouldn't feel it. He has nothing to lose. But thank God that God has given him a platform. Okay, his visions, his manifestos, the things he promised the people of Osun during the campaign. This is the time he has another opportunity to fulfill his promise to Osun State. Okay, because you are not just being re-elected for nothing. You are re-elected to continue the good work that you have been doing. And a lot of politicians in this country miss that. Okay, they miss that. Yes, they might promise the people before they come into office, but when they get into office, they'll be disconnected. they'll be confused, they'll be distracted by the things going on. Okay, so Ademola Adeleke, one of the things that you must do for the people of Osun State, just as the president, the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has told you, that unite the people of Osun, okay, and also pursue the development. You must make sure that you bring development in Osun State. Workers must be comfortable with what they are earning. Okay, infrastructure must be visible. The health sector in Osun State must be revamped. If they are not revamped, you must work more on that. The education sector in Osun State must be taken seriously. Security, securing the lives and property of Osun State must be one of your priority. The health, education, workers' welfare, security, and if these things are taken care of, every other thing will fall into place. Infrastructure as well. Every other thing will fall into place. So, Governor Ademola Adeleke, within the next 90 days, you'll be sworn in, you'll be given a certificate of return within the next 90 days. And when that is done, we urge you here from Overt Radio, to hit the ground running, as you people will say. Hit the ground running. Okay, you have a lot of work to do. You have a lot of work to do in Osun State, and that is why the people of Osun State, have given you the mandate. So the president said, I call on Governor Ademola Adeleke earlier today to congratulate him. His election victory in Osun State, his victory once again confirmed the confidence the people of Osun have in him. Okay, the outcome of the election reflects the will of the people. So one of the lessons that we learned in that Osun State, it's the will of the people prevailed on Saturday towards Sunday. The will of the people prevailed. Okay, the will of Osun State prevailed. It stood. And this is what we want to be replicated in all the governorship elections coming up in 2027 next year. We want the will of Lagosians. We want the will of Lagosians prevail as Lagosians go to the poll next year. We want the will of Ogun State, the people of Ogun State. We want their will. All the state governors, all the states that will be going to the ballot next year, we want the will of the people to prevail, in the ballot. So the president said that the outcome of the election reflects the will of the people, and it is a fitting assurance that democracy will continue to flourish in our land. So let us take this spark that we witnessed, that we experienced, on Saturday in Osun. That spark that it is the determination of the people that will prevail. Let us take that spark, to all the nooks and crannies in Osun State. Let us take that expression whereby the people stood, whereby the people were determined that this is the person, this is the candidate that we want to vote for. We have voted for him and we will stand to defend our vote. Let that expression, let that boldness, let that audacity, transcend to all the nooks and crannies, in the country from Osun State. No longer should people be intimidated because they want to cast their votes. Okay, no longer should the people, should Nigerians, no longer should Lagosians, no longer should the people of Edo State, no longer should the people of Anambra State or anywhere in this country, if they are preparing for an election, they should not be intimidated. Despite the intimidation, Osun people stood their grounds and they made sure that the people that they want to be elected is the candidate that was re-elected on Saturday. So, number one, Ademola Adeleke, you have an opportunity once again to do what is right. I'm not saying that you have not been doing well, but we need more. The people need more of you, and that is why they voted you. And also, another thing again that I mentioned earlier is the people's will prevailed on Saturday. All right. Now, another thing again, another lesson, a very, very vital lesson, a very vital lesson that I learned that was played out on Saturday was that no matter how much you have as a politician, irrespective of the federal might, on Wednesday, last week Wednesday, was it Wednesday on Tuesday, when Arise News organized a town hall for the governorship candidates in Osun State, Ademola Adeleke said, irrespective of the federal might, that the federal might and the people that are coming to the governors, the APC governors that are coming to Osun State to support Bola Oyebamiji of Osun State, irrespective of their presence in Osun, he called himself a bulldozer. All right, now, irrespective of how much you have as a politician, this is a lesson to all the politicians in this country. Either you're a president, either you're a senator, either you're a governor or a local government chairman or a ward councillor. Irrespective of how much you have, what played out in Osun State on Saturday should be a lesson to all the politicians, no matter how much you have, no matter whose ox is God, no matter who your godfather is in politics in this country. There is a new birth. There is something that is coming up in our democracy, and that thing, started on Saturday. That no matter how much you will be giving to the people, no matter how much you have, no matter how much bribe that you are giving out so that people can vote for you, it has been showed on Saturday that irrespective of how much you have, irrespective of the number of people that you've bribed, the people will do what is in their mind. The people will do what is in their mind. There were a lot of vote buying on Saturday. The videos are all over on social media. There have been reports of party agents. I am not calling out any political party because it has not been substantiated yet by the relevant security agencies. But based on what we saw, irrespective, despite the fact that politicians, party agents, political parties, were offering people money to vote for their party, the people still voted for who they want to vote for. There was this popular video about a female voter in Osun State. When she came back from her polling unit, she counted 20,000 naira was allegedly given to her. She received the sum of 20,000 naira, although she didn't call the name of the party. She received the sum of 20,000 naira so that to vote for that political party. She said that, yes, I have received this 20,000 naira, but it is the person that I want to vote for that I voted for. So she was not swayed by the money she received. She was not swayed by the bribery she received. What made her to vote? Because she determined in her heart that this is the candidate that I want to vote, no matter how much I'll be given. So we thank God that people are no longer allowed their conscience to be sold. Okay, irrespective of how much you have as a political party, have it at the back of your mind that if you want to offer the electorate money, they will collect your money, but it is the candidate that they have in mind that they would vote for. And that was one of the lessons we learned in Osun State on Saturday. Political parties were giving money. Some people were giving even before the election. Before the election, we have seen key party leaders bringing people to their residence, giving them monies, 1,000, 1,500, 1,000 naira, giving them food stuff, so that they can vote for them on Saturday. Even before the election, we have seen videos on social media. We have seen videos on social media whereby parties were giving out money to people. Even before that, I think it was during the election or so. There was a video I saw whereby a particular car was driving on the road and throwing out bread along the road, and people came out to pick the bread that were throwing out. And despite that, the people people still insisted that this particular candidate is a candidate that we'll vote for. All right. So we want to see a situation whereby, yes, although we are not encouraging vote buying here on Overt Radio, we are not encouraging that politicians to give money to electorate to vote for them. No. But this is a lesson that no matter the amount of bribe that you will give to electorates, the electorate will collect the money from you and they will vote for the candidate of their choice. And this was what one of our candidates, somebody that we brought into the studio, a few weeks ago, said that in Imo State they are aware that people are planning to buy votes, to trade vote, to buy vote. But he said, according to him, his team is educating the people that collect the money, but vote for the person that you want to vote for. All right, these are taxpayers' money. These are taxpayers' money that the politicians are using to bribe people to vote for them. These are taxpayers' money. So the lesson is, no matter how much you have as a politician, if you give out money before, during election, the people will vote for the party, for the candidate that is in their mind. All right. Now, another lesson is this idea of federal might. This idea that maybe, for instance, take Lagos State for instance. Lagos State has been governed since 1999 by the APC government. Okay. Now, not 1999, because the APC came in 2015. So Lagos State government has always been in the opposition party, and has always been the opposition from the federal, because since 1999 to 2015 it has always been the PDP. But Lagos State has been maintaining that strength. But don't depend on the federal might. To any governorship candidates, don't depend on the federal might. If the party at the center is a PDP party, if the party at the center is an APC party, if the party at the center is an ADC party, and you happens to be on that political party, don't depend on the party at the center, because if you rest your horse solely on federal might, you will be failed. You'll be disappointed. And that was what played out on Saturday. Federal might, it has shown that federal might these days, federal might no get might when it comes to the state. Okay, when it comes to the subnationals, federal might don't necessarily determines the outcome of an election in states based on what played out yesterday. So we want this to be replicated. And how will this be replicated? If the people determine that this is a particular candidate that will vote for them. Of course, in some cases, the people can say, okay, if the people can say, all right, if a particular governorship candidate is in a party that is in that the party is at the central, and they want to vote for that party, so be it. Okay, so be it. But what I'm saying is that governorship candidates, governors now that are in the APC, and you think that because your party is at the central, you now want to depend on that idea. Please, Osun State election is a typical example that if you depend too much on federal might, you might be disappointed. And that was what played out on Saturday. All right. And remember that 2 days on Friday, on that election eve, virtually all the governors from the APC were in Osun State. Edo State Governor, Lagos State Governor, Imo State Governor, all the mercenaries, all the big wigs in the APC, were in Osun State. Ekiti State Governor was there. Ondo State Governor was there. Ogun State Governor was there. In fact, virtually all the APC governors in the south, all the APC governors in the southwest, were heavily present in Osun State to back their man Bola Oyebamiji. But despite that, It is the will of the people that prevailed, because democracy is not about the leaders. Democracy is about the people. That was why I think it was A.V. Dicey that propounded that theory, that democracy is the government of the people, for the people, and by the people. If I'm correct, A.V. Dicey. Or is it separation of power? Yeah, that was secondary school. All right. So it is the will of the people. So any governorship candidate, an aspiring governorship, candidate, don't depend on the party at the center. Don't depend on the party at the center. Work on your campaign. Work on your campaign. I said something last week that if you want to be the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, you must resonate to the consciousness of all the people, all the various groups in the country. You must appeal to their consciousness. And Ademola Adeleke appealed to the consciousness of Osun people. Okay, he wasn't somebody who, because his appearance, if you see the way he displays himself on stage, you will think that this man is not serious. Okay, you will see that this man is an unserious governor. But hey, he used that as one of his strategy. Okay, Ademola Adeleke used that as one of his strategy, and that was what he used to appeal to the consciousness of Osun people. Okay, and that was the strategy he used. One of the strategy, apart from his achievements. All right, apart from his achievement, you wouldn't see Adeleke and not love him. You wouldn't see a governor that is entertaining, I'm not familiarized with him, or I will not affiliate with him. No. Okay, so that dancing part, so I want to urge jokingly, on a lighter mode. So political candidates, irrespective of your post, whether a senator, either a governorship candidate or a president, look for something that, that when your name is mentioned, people will easily recognize. So when Governor Ademola Adeleke, when his name is being mentioned, they'll say, is it that governor that dances? The dancing governor. So this is a selling point, one of his selling points. And he got it right. He got it right, not just for the sake of the election, but his life, his totality. And he got it right. So federal might sometimes might fail you. That is another lesson. Federal might sometimes might fail you. Another lesson again that we learned, in the Osun State election, is that as a leader, as a democratically elected leader in the country, either you are a senator, a speaker, a House of Reps, a president, a governor, a ward councillor, a local government chairman, use the opportunity that you have to do something well for your people. Achievement matters. Achievement matters, because no matter how hated, no matter how people hate you, no matter how those in the opposition hate you, it is your achievement that will speak for you when election comes. No matter the aspersion, no matter the allegations thrown towards you, no matter how hated those in the opposition hate you, no matter the level of hate, because in Nigerian politics, our politics is the politics of hatred. So irrespective of the level of hate towards you by those in the opposition, the antidotes that will erase that hate on the day of election, one of the antidotes is your performance while you're in office. That's for those people who have been in office before. Your performance is very vital. It is very vital, your achievement. And based on what we've seen, based on what has been reported, that Ademola Adeleke is one of the governors that there were no strikes during his tenure. Workers' salaries were not withheld or delayed, or no delays of workers' salary. And that was one of the things, even before the election. Thank God I remember, even the election, when the Osun State government account was frozen, and there were allegations that Abdul Adeleke bribed the Osun State workers, but the NLC, the labor in Osun State, came out in solidarity saying that the 20,000 naira they were given was a request they made themselves to the governor. That 20,000 naira was not a political allowance. No, the labor president, the labor chairman of the Osun State chapter, came out with his members in solidarity to the state governor, saying that the 20,000 naira was not a political allowance, but it was a request they made to the governor, and the governor, yielded to that request and gave them that money. So you must make sure that you take care of your workers adequately, conveniently. Your workers, you must take care of them, and that is part of the achievement. Okay, that is part of the achievement. So these were the lessons that I myself learned from that election in Osun State. All right, quickly, I'm almost out of time. So PDP, yes, responded, reacted. Let me bring out their quotes. Okay, there are two factions in PDP. Yes, so the APC said that they are studying the results. They say they are considering legal options after they might have studied the result. But my question is, has there been any reported anomaly? Has there been any reported anomaly in that election? All right, so I don't know what the APC say they are studying. All right, so Obi said that let me see where I can get it from. Obi said Osun voters had demonstrated courage by exercising their constitutional right to choose their leaders, and commended youths for what he described as their peaceful defense. Quickly said the electorate has once again demonstrated that political power ultimately belongs to the people, and that citizens have constitutional right to determine who governs them. Okay, another reaction, Atiku Abubakar said that Atiku, in a statement issued by his media office yesterday, congratulated Abdul Adeleke and the people of Osun, saying the result reflected the wishes of the electorate. That is it. The result, no one would doubt, what the process of that election, Saturday. So it reflected the wishes of the electorate yesterday. All right. So all right. So listeners, I want to say a very big thank you for spending your breakfast with me. It is 49 minutes gone past the hour of 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Bukola Oluwolafe will be here for the news update at 10. Don't go anywhere. A very big thank you for spending your breakfast here with me. This breakfast